The best looking game on the Nintendo Switch 2 replicates a Nintendo franchise that fans have been asking for such a long time, as well as being at a reasonable price point of only $15. Today, we are reviewing Fast Fusion on the Switch 2. So if you're unfamiliar with what Fast Fusion is, it is a sci-fi racing game with heavy inspiration from F-Zero that started with the Fast Racing League on the Wii and has been with Nintendo every console since. There's no real story or lore of any kind in this game, just high-speed races through beautifully designed tracks. You can hit boost pads, spin out opponents, jump your vehicle, and if you're not careful, get yourself blown up in this fast-paced, high-energy gameplay. And I can safely say that this game has the best visuals of any game that I have played on the Nintendo Switch 2 thus far. There are 4 different options as far as the graphics are concerned, with performance mode coming in at 60 FPS with HDR support, 1080p and dynamic shadows. There's the balance mode that is 60 FPS with HDR, 1440p and dynamic shadows. The quality mode, which is 60 FPS with HDR at 4K with static shadows and screen space shadows, and then the ultra quality mode, which is high quality graphics with 30 FPS, HDR, 4K, and dynamic shadows. And I can safely say that no matter how you choose to play the game graphically, each one of these plays beautifully and is just a visual showpiece on the Nintendo Switch 2. Pair this with the fact that the game has a fantastic soundtrack, which really makes the racing even more enjoyable, and the fact that Jack Merluzzi from F-Zero GX is the announcer in this game, which really makes this game feel like the unofficial F-Zero game of the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, there are a handful of different game modes available in Fast Fusion, and we're going to start with the Championship mode. This is your standard Grand Prix style race system. There are 4 options available, each with 3 races for a total of 12 tracks currently available in the game, with 3 levels of difficulty, with Subsonic being the lowest, Supersonic being the middle ground, and Hypersonic being the highest level of difficulty. Each track looks absolutely stunning and provides these different elements and obstacles in the way that really make them stand out on their own. These can range from giant spike balls rolling on the track to giant robot walkers to asteroids falling into the track and messing up your run. Each track has its own distinct theme and style and danger, making each one feel unique and memorable, especially that asteroid one. I cannot avoid the asteroids to save my life. I just keep getting blown up. The tracks are also filled with different colored boost pads, either blue or orange, and you have to shift your vehicle between the 2 colors by pressing a button in order to maximize your speed on the course. And trust me, this is essential to victory in this game because the AI feels an appropriate level of difficulty where if I make a mistake, they will pull ahead and I have to really fight to get back my lead. In the first couple races, I was just tearing through the enemies and I wasn't having too much difficulty winning races, but the more I played, the more I saw how the AI was actually playing the game and taking shortcuts that I was unaware of, which made this a more enjoyable experience when the AI was actually putting up a fight against me, and I was very pleased to find this level of difficulty in this game. Moving on from the Championship mode, we have the Superhero mode, and this is a very interesting challenge mode that's available in this game. It takes you back through the courses that you've already done in the Championship mode, but you have to finish first, you have to not crash your vehicle, jumping as minimally as possible because it decreases your boost energy, and your boost energy is also your shield energy. So there's all these different variables that are affecting how you actually have to play each track, making this a much more difficult experience than what you are used to in the Championship mode. The third and final game mode that's available is the Time Attack game mode, which is essentially time trials that you're used to in other games like Mario Kart World. These time attacks take you through the different tracks and you can race to see what your best time on each course can be, trying to find the shortcuts and the different ways of playing each map to maximize your speed. On top of this, there's also developer times to race against to give you kind of a goal to beat, and there is a monetary reward of in-game currency that you can acquire by completing these in order to buy additional things. And this is not something that I'm normally a big fan of. I'm not a big time trial person in games like Mario Kart, but the fact that these courses have a ton of shortcuts and hidden paths, and with how fast and high energy the gameplay is, I really find myself enjoying replaying the track. So this is something I could definitely see myself coming back to just to see if I can get that time that is just slightly better than before. And as I stated, there is an in-game currency in Fast Fusion, and you're going to acquire this by playing in all of the different game modes. This currency can be used to buy things like songs from previous Fast games in the jukebox page, unlocking new sets of tracks in Championship mode, or buying new vehicles. And vehicles are easily the coolest part of this game and the game's namesake. Each vehicle has 4 stats: acceleration, speed, boost, and weight. The fun part is that you can actually fuse these vehicles, which is where the fusion part of Fast Fusion comes into play, and you get a new vehicle out of combining these different cars. The first vehicle that you select is the base of the fused vehicle, which means you can fuse the same two vehicles again, but reverse the order in which you fuse them, and you'll get something entirely new. And this offers a lot of depth and variety to continue fusing and finding the vehicle that really fits your playstyle that you're looking for. And with all the different vehicle options and the different fusion variables that you can apply, you're going to have a ton of different kart customizations while you're playing this game, which really gives you a lot to test and try out along the way, which is incredibly exciting, gives you another reason to just keep playing this game. Now, this game does feature a multiplayer component. Currently, you're only able to do split screen as well as game share for this game. There is no online play at this time, which honestly is a bit disappointing in my opinion, simply because of the fact that this game would be so much fun to hop in online and see if you can climb the ranks. But hopefully this will get added in a future update. And the reason I say a future update is because it has been confirmed that Fast Fusion's first content update includes a new track, which is a remake of a Fast RMX track that was on the Nintendo Switch. The developers have confirmed that this will be a revamped visual and gameplay elements on this particular map, and it is also confirmed that this is just one of the courses in the upcoming update, but the total number of courses is unknown. And in addition to the new tracks, the developers are adding a new graphics mode simply dubbed Pure. In response to fan feedback regarding the slightly blurry visuals, this will remove anti-aliasing and reprojection from the image, producing a much cleaner presentation. So this game already has confirmed updates coming that are adding new tracks, potentially new game modes. So the idea that there could potentially be an online mode added in the future is promising, and I'm really hoping that this game gets an online mode because it's something that I would really enjoy personally. The biggest and most important thing about Fast Fusion is the price of this game. This game is only $15 on the eShop, which is honestly a steal of a deal. The reason this is such a great deal is because this game looks fantastic. It offers you a ton of content to dive into between the different tracks, doing the time trials to find the best shortcuts and everything on each individual course. You have the different vehicles that you can fuse, the updates that have already been announced that are bringing more content to the game, and the amount of fun that you will have playing it. In my opinion, personally, picking up this game should be a no-brainer with how cheap it is and the amount of content that it has available. There's clearly a lot of love put into the development of this game, and taking that inspiration from F-Zero scratches that itch that a lot of players have currently with missing an F-Zero for as long as we have. And then on top of this, just the fact that it is inspired by F-Zero makes this feel right at home on the Nintendo Switch system. And with the only downside that I can think of with this particular game being that there's a lack of online mode, there's not a reason I can tell you not to pick up this particular game. It is an absolute treat visually as well as gameplay wise. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed and found it entertaining. Let me know in the comments below if you have planned on picking up Fast Fusion, or if you already picked it up, what your thoughts on the game are. But like I said, that is it. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe because it helps me out, helps the video out, helps the channel out immensely, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.